But I want to show my computer. Let's watch a little bit of this of James's.
This is the Bondi story we did?
Yeah.
Was at the White House and disclosed what she represented as brand new information in relation to Jeffrey Epstein. The existence of tens of thousands of videos featuring little children.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn.
Now, this is the first time an official has publicly acknowledged that videos of Epstein and his victims exist. What you may not know is just 9 days prior, the Attorney General had a very similar conversation with a total stranger in a restaurant.
Do you know when the Epstein files are
Total
gonna get
stranger.
We hope soon. The FBI's been.
Okay.
So-
Any dates?
No, you know what it is? There are tens and thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids. So they have to go through every one.
In the past, officials have spoken about the, quote, mountain of evidence in the Epstein case, but they've never, previous to that moment, acknowledged on the existence of videos of, quote, little kids. Just a few days later, at 2 p.m. on May 1st, our reporter sent the AG's office the text of the recording. We asked why this detail had not been disclosed to the public, but was instead being told to a random stranger at a restaurant. The Attorney General used almost the exact same language as she did with the stranger in the restaurant, language that we shared with her press office.
There are tens and thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein
much the
with
extent of it.
Yeah.
children
Well,
or child
So
porn.
yeah, the question,
well,
so many questions.
But real quick, though, why this is so important, James, and that's going so viral is now the story. Just in May 7th, we're saying thousands of images, and now it's a Barack Obama, Joe Biden hoax. So what is it, James?
Well, the question, before we get to what it is, I think the question there is, why is the Attorney General sharing this information with a self-described nanny in a restaurant 9 days prior to doing that?
And she says thousands of images when this is off-the-record conversation, so she's being honest. She would have no reason to lie.
Place. It's not like we recorded in a bedroom. This was not, I did not set out to do this. This was provided to me, and it was a tough decision for me to publish this story. People even thought I was going after the Trump administration.
Yeah, time out.
That's
See,
not
time
my
out.
intent.
I had to cut you off. People don't realize is that you just being honest, and even if that does cause Trump a little bit of backlash, this is the good. This is why we're different than the left. Is that we should hold our politicians accountable. So what you're doing is very heroic. And once again, I'm not trying to kiss
the
your
question
derriere.
I asked myself is, what would I be if I sat on that?
Yeah, you'd be a coward.
I'd be not a journalist. I don't know what I would be. I think that everyone, even the MAGA people, would probably be not happy with me if that were the case. But Alex, I mean, there's so much to say. This has gotten to a point where I tweeted out this week that either there is no there's not much there to what we want there to be, or it could bring down the whole government or something like that.
Well, you as a guy that gets leaks all the time, what do you think what would it take to even satisfy the MAGA influencers that are mad?
To be fair, I don't think that a lot of these people will be satisfied no matter what it is. I think it's like complicated because it may not be what people want it to be. But there's definitely more there to the story.
Well, real quick, you know what I think is going to happen? I've been thinking this, and I haven't said this that publicly, but what I think is going to happen is that, and it's sadly going to happen probably when you and I are 70, because we're about the same age, after Bill Clinton dies, after these people die, it's like Jimmy Savile. We will get this information, but it's not going to happen in Trump's lifetime. It's not anybody that's name is on that list. It's going to happen posthumously after they die.
That's interesting. I don't know if I agree on that.
I could be wrong. I'm wrong all the time.
I think that, like, for example, I was telling the other show I was on today that people come to me and they give me images from Epstein's Island. I got the images inside the temple, inside the bedroom. I got the names on his phone. But you're telling me that none of those people on the phone, I printed the images. They came to me. People in the government came to me because they didn't know what place to go. Yeah. That none of those guys that were working with them did anything wrong. Not accessory before the fact, accessory after the fact, criminal conspiracy. And Alex, you know the FBI raided me.
Of course.
And they redacted I don't know if your producers have that, literally every word of the probable cause about why they raided me was redacted. So I think what the Department of Justice should do is simply remove the redactions from a lot of the affidavits.
Yeah, but I mean, when it comes to the transparency of this, James, I know you're not as cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs as me, but I'm a big 9/11 truther. I think it's very crazy that we're able to find the passports. But whether you believe the conspiracy of 9/11 or not, whether you can believe any conspiracy or not, what is the truth is that in the 9/11 Commission report, there's 28 pages that are redacted. And we don't know if that's Saudi Arabia's involvement. We don't know whose involvement. My point is, when they redact something, they never unredact it. I don't know of anything, and I'm sure there's one example of them unredacting something, but it feels like it gets redacted for a reason. It gets redacted forever. So I agree with you, but is that a real possibility we're going to get something unredacted?
No, the only way to do it is, I mean, I'm suing the Department of Justice in my case because they dropped the case against me, but I want to know what's behind those black lines. But I think these institutions exist to preserve themselves. They're not interested in helping. People think people in D.C. are out to help society and make the world a better place. No.
Self-preservation.
It's all about protecting the institutions. So let me make this less abstract. If the FBI is interested in protecting their sources and methods, they will never be transparent because it stands against everything they stand for. So in my case, I may have had confidential FBI informants, for example, at Project Veritas. And those people tried to take me out. In fact, they were a little successful for the time being. I started over. But I want to know who those people are because I think the public has a right to know what that is. But it's not going to be an institution that gives that information. It's going to be brave people within the institution that step out of line. That's where we are in American society.
No, that's exactly right. It's like being civilly disobedient and actually, lack of a better word, you have so many of these whistleblowers and it does ruin your life. It can make your life better. But I'm saying when you make a decision to go after your boss,
tough.
It's very tough.
It's very
guys.
tough. And I don't want to promise you, you're gonna be okay. I think you might be okay in a spiritual sense. It might suck in a physical sense.
And
you
financially,
might lose your pension, and that's its own type of psychological violence because it's directed at your children.
Yeah.
You can't feed your family. So this is not easy stuff. But I do believe, Alex, let me be optimistic. I do believe the truth will come out sooner than you think.
Okay, good. That's what I'm hoping for. And I just, like I said, I love Donald Trump. I voted for Donald Trump. I think we can critique Donald Trump sometimes. Donald Trump is not infallible. He's not perfect, believe it or not. I know some people think he is. But, I think Pam Bondi needs to be held accountable. And she changed her tune. You have her on,
Why are these guys talking about the children stuff to strangers?
It's weird.
And the FBI and the attorney, you should be honest immediately with the public. If you're going to say this to some rando in a coffee shop, you gotta be transparent. I'm not even asking them to be more transparent. I'm just asking them to be consistent with what they do in coffee shops and restaurants. Tell the American people what you tell the random people. That's what was so crazy about that story. And Alex, we reached out for comment, and then they go to the White House and say the thing that we sent them in the email. It's just.
Is that true? Did Caroline Leavitt read what you said?
It wasn't Caroline. It was one of the guys at DOJ. I forgot his name, but the spokesperson for Bondi at DOJ.
Well, and James, we're about to have a very special caller, the one, the only Joe Exotic's about to call, and we're going to speak to him for a minute because we want to try to get him released. I don't know. Are you familiar with the Tiger King?
I'm vaguely familiar.
Vaguely. Joe Exotic, he was during the pandemic. He's going to be calling in over the phone.
Tiger King's calling
He's in federal prison, yes. He calls in.
He's calling in from prison?
From prison, you'll hear.
I didn't know that was technically possible.
And I'm actually about to go visit him in prison, so we're just going to have a short conversation.
We should visit Maxwell.
I would love. Can we go get Ghislaine Maxwell? Because now Trump says it's all some fake lie.
Well, I'd like to talk to Maxwell in the prison. Maybe we can talk to her, Alex. Go to the SDNY prison.
Well, let's do it. But if it's all a hoax, then why is she still in jail?
That's a tough one.
That's because it's not a hoax. But I do think, and I would say that I know, and I would say that I know that Donald Trump is not a pedophile, but I bet you Donald Trump was hanging out with the guy for a little bit. It probably makes him look bad. He probably doesn't want it to come out. That's just my guess. And I love Donald Trump, but hell, I mean, he's a billionaire hanging out with other billionaires.
I think we have to manifest it and have faith and take action to make it come out. Like I'm talking about whatever's behind those black lines. I just believe that listen, if it is what you guys think it is, then someone on the inside is going to see that and say, I don't care about me. I don't care about my pension. I don't care about my housing. I just want the truth. If the conspiracies are true, I'm not saying they're not true, then some brave person is going to blow the whistle, jump on a grenade. Lord knows we got military guys that jump on grenades over there in Afghanistan or God knows where. We need someone in D.C. to jump on a grenade and give us the information. You might ruin your life, as Solzhenitsyn said, you might ruin your life in a physical, bodily sense, but you'll save yourself in a spiritual sense. That's my call to action for people. Not an easy thing to do.
No, and I love that call to action because that does actually motivate people to speak out and be more bold. But one thing in the chat is saying they want you to be more bold about, they're wondering why you haven't investigated whether or not Michelle Obama has a penis. Have you uncovered that yet? Did you know who killed the chef?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay, well, so this is what
I wouldn't be very good at my job if I told you what I was working on before I published it.
Oh, okay, you're right. All right, guys, we're working on this.
Journalist is he?
We're gonna get to Michelle leaks.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself